the language methods you'll notice I haven't picked out as many language methods for checking out my history as when we move on to form and structure. There's a lot more for that, but there are some really interesting language methods in the poem. The first thing I look at is the verbs and the imagery, the metaphors of blindness, and you can see that here, because obviously you can't say a keyword out of context. So bandage up me eye with me own history, blind me to me own identity. So first of all, I'll talk about the metaphor of vision and blindness, this idea of his eyes being covered and him being blinded. Obviously it's metaphoric, he's not literally blind, he hasn't literally got a bandage around his eyes, but it's a narrator saying that his education kept his true heritage hidden from him. So this idea that the British education system doesn't provide him with the knowledge about his own culture and heritage. The image of bandage is also associated with injury, obviously, as he's being blinded. So it suggests that the British government are almost dangerous in what they put on the curriculum, and that it's having a negative effect on him, hence the images of injury, so that it's damaging him some way. He's being damaged by not being given access to his cultural history and heritage, so it just links to the damaging effects for Caribbean people to have their heritage hidden, and for black people to have black history hidden in favour of white history. So I think a really interesting image. The fact that the verbs, so you've got bandage and blind, it gives agency to the government as well. It suggests that it's a purposeful action, that purposefully taking away his right to his own history and culture, again making them seem more villainous. And the other language method I picked out was the verb and metaphor carving in the last line. So obviously he's not literally carving his identity into wood or whatever, so it's a metaphor. But I think carving's a really interesting verb. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. Carving is something you have to take a lot of time over. It's quite intricate, it's like a piece of art, it's difficult. So that links to the difficulty he faces in being able to discover his cultural history. But carving suggests taking time, and it suggests patience. So again, linking to the idea that the speaker is quite resilient and determined to work out his own history and to embrace it. But it does suggest that it's difficult for him to get to embrace his heritage and identity. Carving's also a continuous verb. It's put in its progressive aspect, ing. It uses the present participle ing. So it suggests it's a continuous thing. He's constantly having to work at embracing his Caribbean identity, because it hasn't been made easy for him, but he's willing to do so because for him it's worthwhile. So it shows that black culture has a powerful impact on him. His culture is important to him, and it motivates him and empowers him to work hard at being able to embrace his roots and his identity.